Hi, welcome back to the garden. Today is Saturday, September 24th, and you know what that means. We're going to do a quick review of this garden, then we're going to go to you and celebrate what's going on in your garden. Well, looks like this vine finally is done, so we're going to go ahead and clean up the trellis this morning. If you're new to my channel and my story, you're in for a real treat. We reserve Saturdays for you in celebrating what's going on in your garden. But we're going to go ahead this morning and take this vine down. And while I'm doing that, let's go ahead and look at some of our friends and neighbors and celebrate what they're doing in their gardens.
Nora brings us some delightful color to this first fall episode. Nora's landscape garden design has inspired and brought joy to so many. We all hope your flowers last a bit longer. We sure do appreciate you sharing every week. Thank you, Nora. Kelly's Arch is a fantastic entrance to her wonderful raised bed garden. It also makes harvesting beans extremely easy. Kelly, this is wonderful. Thank you for sharing. Art usually tosses a couple tomatoes in for good measure when he's making his super hot salsa. Dan couldn't wait, so he dug his first hill of sweet potatoes. They look pretty good. Now, Dan and his family's been a friend of this channel for quite a while. If you'd like to see more of Dan and the gang, I've linked their channel in the description box below.
Weren't those amazing? I draw motivation, I draw inspiration, I even get ideas from you. Just like this trellis. Just that fast, we're ready to plant in the spring.
This is the moth that produces tomato hornworms.
But when this one's done, it's going to take a chainsaw to take it down. I can't believe how thick these get. Let's go ahead and take a look at a couple more.
Patrice shows us just why we all do this. Because it tastes great. There's nothing in the world like growing, harvesting, cooking, and eating fresh from the garden. This is awesome. And now I'm hungry. Thank you, Patrice. Scott and Virginia tried a Colorado variety of beans. They didn't produce in the heat. But now that it's cooled off, they're kicking in. And this is going to be a nice harvest. Thank you, guys. Denise's raised beds and containers bounce back nicely from the heat. They're still bringing in some really nice harvests. It was a pretty good summer, Denise. Thank you.
Now, I enjoy these submissions almost as much as I enjoy this time of year. This time of year, the fall tomatoes start turning to blush really fast. And if you see how many we got here, I'm even going to start taking these in. It's starting to get some color on them. Larry, I'll be back out here in a little bit with the big container for a big harvest. Let's go ahead and take a look at a couple more.
Walter grew a very wide variety of peppers this year. Everything from sweet green peppers to some very hot ones. The cooler weather has treated his pepper plants very well, and they've treated him very well with such a bountiful harvest. His tomatoes continue to grow, and they are now very tall. Now that it's cooled off, they're really kicking in too. Second round is on his way. This looks great, Walter. Thank you. In Massachusetts, the weather has cooled off enough that Jen is winding down her garden. And she is harvesting the last from her raised beds. Thank you, Jen, for sharing your final harvest. And yet, a bit further south, Texas is still in full swing for Rob and Valerie. Valerie's container garden teaches us we don't need a ton of room, and you can still produce and eat our own delicious, nutritious, chemical-free food. You are a real inspiration, Valerie, and your garden is simply blessed. Thank you, Valerie, for inspiring us all.
You can actually see the hard work our friends and neighbors put into their gardens around the world. You can do this too. Counted the days, and I think we're within time to go ahead and see what's in this peanut patch. Of course, we got a little bit more time on the sweet potato patch, but it's coming up soon. My plan today is to harvest these peanuts, try a new feature on YouTube. It's going to be a premiere. That way we can watch this together, and you can give me some feedback, and I'll be there to answer any questions. I do invite you to participate and let us help you celebrate what's going on in your garden. Just send us an email at waylandsmalley5@gmail.com. The address is in the description box below. We would love to see what's going on in your garden. As fall progresses, we have a lot of things to do around here. One, we're still growing. Has anybody ever said you can't have enough beets? These will be in a cold frame. The carrots we just planted that came up, and they're doing really well. They're going to be in a cold frame. We got to do something with that greenhouse. The plastic's tearing off of it. With my bum leg this summer, I really couldn't do a whole lot with it, but I've got plans there. So it's going to be an exciting fall, and we hope you join us for that. Please leave a comment down below and let everybody know just how much you appreciate them sharing what's going on in their garden. And if you hit the subscribe button, you wouldn't miss an episode. Wow, that looks like we're going to get some more corn this year. You can do this too. This was just a story about a guy that didn't want to weed anymore. I stumbled upon the deep mulch, one of the easiest ways of gardening I've ever found. It's the cheapest, you don't have to put down any fertilizer or use any chemicals. I hope you get something out of these stories, especially from our friends and neighbors. They are absolutely tremendous. You can do this too, and we invite you to participate and let us celebrate what's going on in your garden. We still got 1-pounders in here. I don't know why these never make it into the house. Until next time, take care of yourself, take care of your family, and God bless you. Come on, let's plant.
Let's go plant garden.